Hello artists, today we are talking about tints and shades, and I don't mean sunglasses. We're going to be using a monochromatic color theme. What does that mean? Well, it means we're using one color, but we're using different values of that color. These photographs illustrate that. There's blue, purple, and green, but they're all different values of those colors. What do I mean by value? Value refers to how light or dark a color is. All right? So let's figure out how you get there. To make a color lighter, you use tints. So you add white to the color. The more white you add, the lighter the color, or the lighter the value of the color. Shades, same idea, but opposite effect. You start adding black to the color. The more black you add, the darker the color, or the darker the value of that color. All right, so remember, color plus white equals a tint. So when I add white to red, I get pink. When I add white to blue, well, I'm going to get a baby blue. All right, still blue, just a different value. Shades, if I add black to red, I'm going to get kind of a burgundy color. It's still red, it's just a different value of red. Same with the blue, if I add black to the blue, well, then I get sort of a navy blue. Now we're going to be working with paint. I have a piece of paper that's folded into 8 rectangles, and I'm going to paint the top left-hand corner of the paper red. You might be using a different color, it doesn't really matter, but I want to make sure that I paint that entire rectangle with the paint. All right, once I've done that, we're going to do one side of this paper with tints and one side with shades. So I'm going to start with my tints. I have a palette knife, and I'm going to use it to scoop a little bit out of the red, because we're going to be mixing the colors, and I don't want to mix too much. Do a little bit at a time. I'm cleaning my palette knife, and I'm adding just a little bit of white, and I'm going to mix that up. It's a little bit hard to see in the video, but it is definitely a different value of red. Okay, it is a tint of red, and I'm going to paint that right next to the bottom one, and I'm going to fill in that whole rectangle with this color. You can probably guess what I'm going to do next. I am going to add a little more white. And as I go, you can see the color gets lighter and lighter, or in this case, more pink and more pink. All right, one more down and one more to go. Add a whole bunch of white this time, make it a lot lighter. It looks like melted strawberry ice cream. All right, so I'm going to paint that bottom left-hand corner, and so those are my tints. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the top, only this time I'm adding black. A little warning, a little tiny bit of black goes a long way. It'll make your colors super dark really fast, so use a little at a time. You can always add more, but it's hard to take it away. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to paint each rectangle, each one getting a little darker and a little darker. All right, now once I get to the end, it's going to look pretty much like it's totally black, but there's a little hint of red still in there, I promise. All right, so now I have 8 painted rectangles, and here's the thing. You are gonna have to stay tuned, because we're gonna save this and we're gonna use this project for another project. You'll find out next day. All right, have fun, go forth and be brilliant.